Well, look who's arrived at our house today. You can imagine my surprise when Aunt Renie suddenly turned up on my doorstep one morning this week. "However did you find me?" I asked her. "Simple, my dear," she replied. "Google Maps, of course." I should have known. Over a nice cup of rooibos tea and some milk tart, we planned Aunt Renie's tour. Taking Aunt Renie sightseeing around Cape Town was pretty hair-raising for me. I had planned a sedate tour, but Aunt Renie was surprisingly keen for more adventure than I had anticipated. Well, here are some of the photos I took of Aunt Renie's sightseeing tour around Cape Town. Aunt Renie wanted to see some wildlife, so our first stop was Boulders Beach to see the African penguin colony. We kept to the wooden boardwalk until I took my eye off Aunt Renie for a moment, and there she was, over the fence and down on the beach with the penguins. Aunt Renie was determined to go on a cage dive to see great white sharks. It was only with much difficulty that I persuaded her that she could see sharks just as easily at the Two Oceans Aquarium. And here she is in front of the beautiful kelp forest tank. Then I took Aunt Renie to visit the company gardens in the centre of Cape Town. "Look," she cried, "there's Table Mountain. I would love to climb it." I explained that we should rather go up the mountain in the cable car. I felt that a visit up Table Mountain would give Aunt Renie a bird's eye view of Cape Town, and so up we went. However, once we were on top of Table Mountain, Aunt Renie stood as dangerously near to the edge as she possibly could to have her photo taken. I could not even bear to watch her, so a kind German tourist took this photo for me instead. Once we were back in Cape Town, Aunt Renie looked in need of some refreshment, and I offered her some more rooibos tea. "Nonsense, my dear," she said briskly. "After a day like today, we need something much stronger. How about some Witblits?" Now, Witblits is stronger than tequila, so I let her drink a glass or two by herself while I sipped some iced rooibos tea. At the end of the day, I gave Aunt Renie a South African flag and some other gifts to remember Cape Town by. There was a vuvuzela and some Witblits that she particularly wanted, for when she felt like being rowdy, I believe. And because she had enjoyed my rooibos tea and milk tart so much, I also gave her a packet of rooibos tea to take home, as well as a good recipe for milk tart. And Aunt Renie hopes that one day the other StoryMOOCers will join her in Potsdam for a nice cup of rooibos tea and some milk tart.